Yo, this is a really good piece of advice that used to help me so much when I used to like actually grind the game. Especially as an IGL, this tool was so useful. And it's a supported creator code. Why? So I can get money? How does this even relate to going pro? Well, tell me what you think comes with getting a supported creator code. You get access to being able to host custom matches. This may not sound that crazy to you, but it's going to be insanely useful to you, especially if you know you're going to go far with this thing and actually become pro and play in heaps of set lobbies. Okay, but what can you actually do with custom matches that is so good? The first thing that you can do is off-spawn practice. And what this is basically, depending on whatever game mode it is, solos, duos, or trios, you just go into a custom arena match of solos, duos, trios with the other team only, just you and the other team you're versing. And then basically each game, you go back and forth having turns fighting at each other's drop spot that each of you want to practice separately. So say I want to land POI 1 and then the person in the other team wants to land POI 2. Then in game 1, we're going to land POI 1, like land there, fight till we die and the game's over, and then we go into another game and land POI 2, and then the next game after that, POI 1, and then POI 2, and just repeat. Okay, a couple things. You should be telling the other opponent you're versing in your custom matches how you want them to be fighting or where you want them to loot at your drop spot, or just where they can land. But make sure you're keeping it pretty realistic to what would happen in the tournaments where you're practicing for that tournament for those spawns, if you know what I mean. Like for example, I used to say this. You can just land in this general area, I'll go into Fortnite GG and draw up a square exactly where anywhere you can land in there, and then I'll say just land in here and just do whatever you want, just fight however you want, be as cringe as possible, come up with weird strategies, all of it. Because that way I learnt to counter every single way the other enemy could actually play against me on off spawns. You just end up getting to a point where you know how to counter everything someone could do at your off spawn. But also make sure you respect what they want you to do, otherwise they're obviously not going to fight you and practice off spawn anymore, and they're not going to want to do it again. Okay, that sounds great, Vujcich, but how am I going to get a code? I don't even have 1k followers on anything. Wow. If you're watching this Epic Games, it's just a joke and I don't condone this behavior. I'm just educating people on what people do. So what people do is they could hypothetically bot an account, like a random Twitch account they have, to 1k followers and then use that for the code. And apparently it does work.
If you ask me, that's pretty cheeky.
Is there anything else having a code will be useful for? Yeah, there is. I'm glad you asked, thanks. Now, with this new ability to host custom matches, you now have the ability to exactly plan out loot routes. Now with this, you can do your loot routes with looking at different buses, how they affect the time you leave a drop spot after your loot route, or different zones, different the loot spawns, random loot spawns, random chest spawns, so you learn where each chest is, and also accurate farming. So all of this is perfectly identical to what would happen in a set lobby. Say you're going to play a set lobby like FNCS Grand Finals, and you have this ability to host custom matches, and you have an uncontested drop spot in the FNCS Grand Finals, then what you could do is literally go into the custom match arena solos by yourself, or even with your teammate, which is even better, and then do your loot paths exactly as fast as possible and just keep repeating, making them better and better and getting better and better and memorizing everything. And then when you go into FNCS Grand Finals, you will be able to loot and leave your drop spot as soon as possible so you can get a really good position for Surge, which I can't tell you guys how much it saved my life in set lobbies.